Hello guys, welcome back to day 11 of Python for Beginners tutorial. In this day 11, we will develop number guessing game. This project covers all the topics from day 1 to day 10, which incorporates functions, variables, strings, loops, and conditional statements. This game will able to generate a random number between 1 and 100 and asks the player to guess it. The player has up to 10 attempts to guess the correct number, and then the program will provide feedback on whether the guess is too high or too low after each attempt. The game also uses functions like display welcome, get user guess, evaluate guess, and play game to organize the code and make it more readable and modular. So let's get started. We first define a function that's just display welcome messages for the player. Okay, now this display welcome function going to display the message on the console, and the player could read that welcome to the number guessing game, and then the player can think of a number between 1 and 100. Okay, now we're going to define a function, another function that get user guess. In one Python file, we can define multiple functions, and even though we can call a function inside another function. So we will see and we will practice more and more by developing such kind of game. Okay, let's get started. This is another function that is called get user guess. The function going to uh, perform while loop. The while loop just evaluates to true. If this is true, that's going to run this program. So the program just accepts the user inputs function that allow users to enter data from keyboard, and user inputs going to convert or cast into integer, because the number we are going to guess is integer number between 1 and 100. So it should be casted into integer. And finally, return to that guess number. If there is error during entering data, if the user may enter inappropriate or incorrect value, so it just prints that please enter a valid number, that is value error exception handling, and that is called. So in this function, we cover the loop, while loop, try or exception handling, and casting event, type casting, or converting input type into integer type. So this is what gets user input. Then next, we are going to define another function that evaluates the user guess. All right, this function just take two parameters, target and guess. The target is the number which is randomly generated between 1 and 100. And the guess is the user input that the user guesses. If that the user guess is less than the target or the randomly chosen number, it returns too low. So the user can aware of that number is too low, and then the user going to attempt another guess, which is greater than the first attempt. And there is if statement. So the if going to evaluate that if guess is greater than the target, just returns the message to high. So still the user can be aware of that the user input is still high, and the user can reduce the another attempt. Then if the user guess and the target is equal, which is the else part, that is the correct guess, and it returns congratulations, you guessed the correct number. So this is what that evaluates the user guess. All right, now we are going to define another function, which is play game. The play game function going to call the function is display welcome, that displays the welcome message, get user guess, that allow users to input the guess, and going to call the function evaluate guess, and that evaluates the user's attempt. Okay, let's define that function and let's do that. So this play game function going to do that. Because in this function, we define a random number generation, which is using random module. So we need to import this module in the beginning of this program, import random. And this going to randomly choose the number in between 1 and 100, and just store in a variable target number. And there is attempts that counts the number of attempts that the player try. And if the player reaches to the maximum attempts, it's going to terminate the games. And this display welcome function is called here, and display the welcome messages in the beginning of the game. All right, let's go. Okay, then there is a while loop that evaluates the condition. If the attempt is less than maximum attempts here, the minimum attempt is, or initial attempt is 0, and maximum is this. And this attempt is going to increment by 1. And if that attempt is less than maximum attempts, allow the user to input another guess, which calls the function get user guess. The user guess just allow the user to input another number, and then call the function evaluate guess, and the evaluate guess takes two arguments: the target number, which is auto generated, which is randomly chosen from between 1 and 100, and pass the user guess to this function as an argument, and it's going to evaluate the statements inside this function. So this is going to be evaluated when this function is called inside the play game function. So this concept is what is called, we are calling functions inside another function. That is called function call. All right, let's continue. All right, I added another lines of code here. If the user guess is equal to the target number, which is the user guessed the number, and it just prints that the attempts that the user took, and it prints the congratulations message as well. And it increments the attempts by 1. And there is a break statement here that breaks if the user guess is correct. It just breaks the statement and goes to, or the loop stops here. It will not evaluate again because the user is correctly attempted that guess. Otherwise, it continues increment the attempts. If that attempt is equal to the maximum attempts, which is 10, it reaches to 10, it prints out sorry message. Sorry, you ran out of attempts. The correct number was prints the correct number, the target number, which is randomly chosen here. So now we have finished our code, and we are going to call the function play game outside of the function, and we can use a name that uses as entry point of the program execution. Name, call that play game, because other functions are called inside the play game, and everything can be done here. Then when you call that play game outside of functions, and when you run your program, it starts from the main function, and the main function calls the function play game, and the play game generates random number and calls the display welcome function and evaluates the attempts and so on. All right, now we are going to run our code and let's play the game. Okay, there is an error, which is attributes error random has no attributes random int. So I should correct that error. So here it's not random int, but it is rand int. And let's run again. All right, this is the output, and the welcome message is displayed here. Then you can enter your guess first attempt, for example, 56. Okay, the guess is too low, so it just evaluates your guess and it outputs your guess is too low, so you have to guess another attempt. which is greater than the previous attempt. For example, 78. Oh, it is high. Now we can attempt another guess. For example, 68. Still it is high, and I can 62. Okay, 59. Okay, 57. Congratulations. I just correctly guessed the number, and it took me 6 attempts to guess that target number, 57. So this is what the game we have developed in this tutorial. You can practice more and more, and you can be a perfect Python developer, and you can solve different problems. I hope this tutorial covered all the topics you have learned from day 1 to day 10. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Write comments below. Thanks for watching.